The Crossroads Farmers Market is a wonderful market that happens on Wednesdays on Ann Street in Ward 6. It is such a wonderful opportunity to meet a number of local vendors and farmers that are culturally sensitive, and you can get food and taste food from all over the world. And so it's such a wonderful opportunity to bring residents together, but to also serve as a vital resource for so many in our community who don't have access to locally grown foods.
I love that it's so accessible to everyone, of people of all price points. I remember when I was council member, that we put in money to do matching bucks for the people so that we could double the amount of money that any person that was on food stamps could purchase. So in essence, for every dollar they spend, they could actually purchase $2 worth of food. And for a working family or family living below the line of poverty, that's a huge difference.
This is my absolute favorite market. I love Crossroads Farmers Market. I feel like is the model of what markets should be. And this commitment to changing the food system all the way around. So making sure that healthy, fresh food is accessible to everybody in our community with the Fresh Checks program and with the location of the market, with the outreach, with the SNAP outreach that's done here, but also making sure that everyone in our community can benefit by building wealth in the food system. And so that's about supporting new farmers, supporting people who have historically been disenfranchised or exploited by the food system to become entrepreneurs within that food system, either as farmers or through the 12-hour community kitchen as vendors. And we'd have some new vendors here.
We are a landscaping and nursery worker-owned cooperative. So that means we do two things. So one is we landscape exclusively with native plants, and then we also provide native plants to the community through our plants. We are a worker-owner cooperative, which means that there are no bosses in the co-op. It means that our workplace is democratic and that everyone gets an equal share of the profits and we all get livable wages. Today we have a mix of Maryland natives, anything from full sun loving plants to things that like it's shady and wet, so like foam flower, for example, likes it.
Native plants have evolved over, thousands of years to be perfect for this environment. So it's just a better move if you're gardening than to bring non-natives in, because all of the plants and other plants and the bugs and the other flora and fauna all thrive with all the other natives thrive when you have native plants in your yard. Bees love it, all the pollinators love it, and that's just better for fighting climate crisis. And they also are just stunning plants. They're lower maintenance because they're adapted to this environment. You don't really have to worry about watering them as much because they take up the water that they need from the environment. So yeah, they're lower maintenance, they're perennial, so they'll come back.
Oh, I just got some native plants. I'm so excited. One of the new vendors at the market is the Swamp Rose Co-op, where you can get native plants for your yard. So very excited about getting those and adding them to my pollinator garden, my growing pollinator garden.
I'm so excited to announce that I just finished buying the Gold watermelon coffee that is U.S. made, and I just finished eating some delicious food from one of the vendors, the local vendors here.
Alcaba, which is a Guatemalan coffee vendor, which is right behind us there. They have amazing, amazing coffee. There's also Ladybrook Farm. They have amazing eggs, jams. My favorite is the blueberry or the peach jams. They're amazing. Natsia's is, they have a carne asada that is to die for. And then there's a number of farmers, Tucky's Mountain Grown. They have the best apples. And I don't know, they're fresh, but they last a very long time.
We are a 6th-generation family farm. We have transitioned from beef cattle and field crops to vegetable crops 3 years ago. So we attend 8 farmers markets a week, with the Crossroads here in Takoma Park being one of them. We have strawberries as one of our main products today, potatoes. We still have some apples left over from last year. And then a lot of our spring vegetables, lettuces, rhubarb, kale, cabbage.
It started as a fun thing baking in the kitchen with my grandmother when I grew up. And so as I got to adulthood, I decided to just turn it into a business because I had a lot of people asking me for cakes. And I'm like, I don't do this full time. I just do this for fun. So in 2021, I decided to turn this into a business. And 2 years later, I went from one farmer's market to 6. It's one made with love. It's made handmade. And also it has lots of butter. To me, that is what Southern style pound cakes are. We also do vegan cakes, and I found a really good vegan butter that I love to use that still gives it that buttery taste.
We're certified naturally grown produce and flower farm, and I focus on African heritage vegetables. So we grow locally for community in Montgomery County and DC area. Swiss chard, jalapeno peppers, basil, beans, and tomato found. It's great to be back this spring and back at Crossroads Market.
Well, I love this farmer's market. I come here sometimes.
You know this one.
Yeah. I've come here to get pupusas and chat with people and see great music or whatever. But yeah, this one is really great, and just I feel like it's pretty reflective of Takoma as a community where people are really curious. Yeah, like Pumi said, super involved, kind of know each other. So it's a really nice vibe here. And yeah, it is nice that people are very interested in the workplace democracy, the worker-owned model of our co-op in particular. So that also we feel like the bells of the ball. So
I've been to a few farmers markets, and this one feels like there's a lot of community around it, which is really nice. Like everyone knows each other here, and I feel like we'll get to know other people here. And they're also really into the co-op model, which isn't always what you get when you go to a farmer's market, so that is really nice.
I have some people come up and they're coming every week and they're telling me, I'm having a baby soon, or I'm engaged, or I'm getting married. So it's like people feel very comfortable coming up to share like personal details, and I'm building rapport with people every week. So I would say that's like the most important thing for me.
We enjoy coming to the farmers market. We're located in a rural area, and it's a great benefit for us to come into the urban areas to sell our products.
So I do want to encourage people to come out, take advantage of some of my recommendations. I have many more because I love this market, and I definitely enjoy all of the vendors that are here.
This is the celebration once again of all the entrepreneurs that prepare foods out of Crossroads Community Foods Networks, a commercial kitchen that's a block away on Tulip Avenue. It's officially the Takoma Park Silver Spring Community Kitchen. All of our vendors, whether they have beverages, we have food trucks now, bringing all their cuisines together to celebrate with the community. We also had a family band perform this year. We got another band that's getting ready to crank up. Face painting, so artisans are coming out. It's just a great day for the community to celebrate entrepreneurs who are local and to support their businesses, but they really have a beautiful day and a beautiful experience with family and friends.
I decided to start A-Butter because of more of a healthy trends in my community. So I noticed that there weren't healthy eating options, and my family has some health complications as well. So I started Almond Butter because I really was passionate about healthy eating, particularly with people of color.
I am a clinical exercise physiologist, and COVID happened. I was used to telling people to take their shoes off and put electrodes on them and testing employees' health. Then COVID came. And I was going to retool to go back in a different way. Then my daughter comes up to me one day and says, "Dad, will you help me start a cookie company?" And I was like, okay, because I want you to learn business skills. But I was going to do it casually at first. And I said, wait a minute, let's do a real business and learn from a real business. That's how we started. And so I started doing the research, and I started really enjoying it as I went. My daughter is the type that watches cooking shows and kids cooking challenges, Korean street food and all that. I just like to eat.
We decided to have this business about a year ago. So the idea behind of our business is because my My wife and I have about 40 years of experience in the healthcare industry, and we noticed that good health, just like wealth, primarily depends on making the right choices. And those choices are things like food, what you eat, what you drink. We noticed that when it comes to beverages, the choices are limited. The most popular products do not support health, and the ones that do sacrifice taste. So therefore, we decided to create our own product, our own brand, Power Up, which is herbal infusion that tastes good and also flavorful and support people's health.
A couple of my friends, they wanted me to come on as their executive chef at one point. Now, it is my business, but it's also more of just like a way to create art. Like when I make food, it's like an art or an expression for me. It's not really like, oh, I want to make a bunch of money from it. It's just joyful for me, honestly. This is the tart that I made, so everything is raw vegan. Also, like something that's like important to me about like making food, like I make confections or like sweets, but everything is made with like plant-based items. Everything is like real food, so it's sweetened with agave and dates. I use almonds and different nuts and stuff, so it's kind of like I want people to be able to indulge, but also be able to like have real food when they do it, because you can. I think just part of it is just like creating, making art, putting like my time and energy and effort into it, and just having fun.
So the kitchen is running 8 years strong now. Even before we talk about the future, we just added a second floor to the kitchen in November 2022. So the capacity to add more businesses is grown. You can see them out here now. We have about 5 businesses that joined this year, so more vendors on the street to celebrate. You're seeing not only the kitchen is growing, the businesses are growing, so everybody's just doing well.
It was an easy process. I think Ivy was there to help me out and support me through a lot of it, but I think after I got all my paperwork squared away and I was able to figure out just the best ways of producing the almond butter, it got to be really easy, and here I am today.
It's great because it helped us move a little faster as far as how we serve people and how we can get our product out. It's great to have someone believe in what we're doing and also help develop us. We've grown so much in about a year and a half's time.
It's actually pretty good. The community kitchen, that's the local kitchen, is actually a pretty good space. It's pretty good. Right now, everything is actually pretty good. We have different types of treats. We have gluten-free, vegan, and different flavors. So it's really, everything is pretty good.
We went through the community kitchen. When we decided to start the business, we were looking for somewhere to be able to start our company. The community kitchen was available. We reached out to them. They reached out to us. We told them what we wanted to do. And they were very supportive in getting us started. They told us what we needed to do, how to do our licensing and things like that. So we were able to get our licensing and start in the kitchen and start preparing our products.
Okay, the best thing about the business is I get to work on something with my daughter. It's like a development thing, and it's not easy. My daughter is 12. She yells at me. I had to say, in a board meeting, you have to collaborate. Everybody has a good idea. She said, no, Dad, you're gonna do it this way. I was like, wait a minute, okay. So we have our roller coaster rides, but we have those beautiful moments, like where she is like knowing what a SWOT analysis is. He's evaluating what she does. She's coming up with these innovative ideas just off the top of her head. And then I say, the hard times that I go through, it just makes it all worth it. But I knew when I did this, I told my wife, this is the challenge, this is the work. It's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna be teaching a 12-year-old about business, and it's not gonna be rational all the time. And so I said, this is what I signed up for. It's both, it's highs and lows, and we're still growing. And the most important thing is, the entity, as it grows, is a learning opportunity for her. And it's a learning opportunity for me too. It's great, you know, it's hard, but it's great.
I think the best part of having the business is being able to make a difference. That's really the fundamental purpose of why we started the business, is to be able to make a difference. Our mission is simple: make great tasting, flavorful herbal infusion and help support people's health. And because we are able to do that through our product, that's the most, best thing that we could have done for ourselves. The most challenging thing, I think, is just, it's a business. So it's something that we were new at doing, because again, we had no idea about food businesses. So that was challenging, but getting into the business and getting the support from the kitchen, it has made it much easier to be able to do what we're able to do and give back to the community.
That's fine. More challenging to work with my husband as well, because sometimes, you have to look at the business side and the family side and see where you can have a balance. You work for yourself, you work at your own pace, you have time for family, you also have time to support the community with your knowledge.
I think it's the passion is what keeps me going. So I think those are the best parts of my business. And then, of course, the harder parts are just, I think, the day-to-day sometimes. Like, sometimes you feel like it can be a little bit tough to maintain the business, especially when you're doing other things. But I found that, if I had my passion there, then it stays. The best of the part that I enjoy the most, I think it's just telling people my mission. I love the fact that people enjoy the almond butter, but when people see the mission behind it, that the fact that I'm doing it to help support people in need in terms of healthy eating, then I think it resonates with me the most. My friends too, they like it the most, man. My friends. When my friends liked it, then I knew I was good.
One of them is touching the community. You get a chance to see all the different people and see the reaction when they actually taste the pound cake, and just getting the reaction, positive feedback from the community. Right now, we're trying to reach a bigger audience. So I guess just to, go corporate and reach a bigger audience, that may be one of the challenges.
I think the most challenging part is scaling up, especially like with what I make. Everything is like really handcrafted, and like there's like an artistic element to it. That's why I kind of have like stepped out of like, I'm doing this to make money because I want to make art, like culinary art. So when you're trying to scale up and you go from like tabletop to like trying to make 1,000 units for a store, you need machinery, and you kind of like putting your hands in it is like you get taken away from like touching the food and like the fine details, and I enjoy like the meticulously of that. I think, and I've done large scale before and I did not enjoy it, and I think with the proper equipment and stuff, yeah, it is possible to do it, but then you kind of lose the creative aspect of it, especially too, like if you're doing this one thing over and over and over, like yes, you can perfect it, but then I just want like my mind to be like, okay, what can I create that's different? So I kind of like this pop-up style, because like most of these things I've made variations of some of these things. I have Oreos, I've never made them before, like they were selling like crazy. Like I was like, okay, I want to just try to make this. Can I make it? Like it's kind of like a challenge, or like just something to do,
I just met a software engineer who's also an educator. And we sat down and we had a long conversation, because we're going to start this summer. We both have our independent research assignments, but this midsummer we're going to start the development of a software to enhance the foundational skills of entrepreneurship for youth. And so we're working on that. That is my vision clipped onto my daughter's vision. So we're moving towards that. And I was so happy, because usually the software engineers I met, they just know computers, not an educator at the same time. And I finally found someone who had my vision. So we're going to work together on it.
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I can get to some stores, man, so see how it goes. See how it goes.
I see expanding the business, like doing more corporate events, maybe getting into some larger stores and, expanding basically more partnerships and trying to go corporate. So that's basically the, future expectations for the business.
Yeah, definitely we're looking at expanding our product line. We are in the kitchen working on different flavors. So we are hoping to have that come out maybe in the next 6 to 12 months. We are also looking at expanding our products and getting into stores, and that's kind of what we are looking for, just kind of saturating the market, and so that people can know about our product and what we are offering the public.
today is the opening of our T-ball league, ages 5 to 8. Exciting times. We have 4 teams participating this year, a purple team, a daisy-colored team, a mint green colored team, and a purple team. Games are on Saturdays here, as well as the practices.
We just had our first practice and our first game. Our practice started at 9, game at 10:15, and the kids had a lot of fun. It's a good time.
It's an instructional baseball league for kids, I think ages 4 to 7, and I've got a 6-year-old who we're playing for the first time, first year.
Well, this was our first practice and also our first game. So my fellow coach, Paula Bellertis, and I looked up a few practice schedules from the YMCA, and we just followed that. Did a couple of rotating stations with the kids, focused on batting, base running, and throwing to make sure they got some practice before the game.
The name of the team is the Blue Falcons. So we kicked off the T-ball season today. First graders, ages 5 through 8. And introduced them to some fundamentals of the game, played a couple innings. I thought the kids had fun. That's the whole point. A good start, I thought.
Format of the game, 7 innings or 1 hour, whichever comes first. In most cases, it's going to be 1 hour. But the biggest thing we want to make sure of, and it's happening so far, in that 1 hour or those 7 innings, they're all having fun. And they're having a great time.
Base running was the big thing today. First, second, third, home plate. Where you stand in the field, just basic throwing, also how to hit the ball, how do you swing, where you line up towards the tee and home plate.
Today's our first day, so we're teaching them everything from what a base is to how to stand with a bat to how to field a ball and throw. Some of the kids have never held a mitt before. Some of the kids have never held a baseball before, so we're having a lot of fun learning everything together today. It's my first time coaching, so we're all learning.
You have to start at very basic, so we start with how to run the bases, a little bit of throwing, catching, and then we teach them how to hit.
I think they prefer to bat compared to field, but we'll see where that goes over the course of the season.
I think they like hitting a lot. They like hitting and running around the bases, getting to touch home plate.
I don't know, what's your favorite part of the game? Is it hitting? Baseball. They all seem to be loving it. I think they like to hit. Everybody likes to bat and see their ball get hit through the infield and then run the bases. But, you know, it's our first day, so everybody's having a good time.
I think right now they're mostly enjoying hitting. I think it's going to take a little while to figure out the fielding stuff. That's a little bit more complex.
They're really enjoying themselves. They're having a great time. Everything is packed in one day. You have your games on Saturday. You have your practices on Saturday. And then after this is over with by 12 o'clock, you got the rest of the day to go do whatever you need to do with your kids and your family.
Everybody has a little bit of a different kind of starting point, so making sure everybody's having a good time is first and foremost. It's hot, so keeping the kids focused when it's super hot. Baseball, especially when you're learning, moves a little slow, but making sure that everybody's always having fun and you're keeping it positive, everybody's cheering each other on, and we're playing nicely with the other team. That's the first objective, fun first, for sure.
Still first practice, first game, but I think the kids are excited to try something new and also excited for snack. So for many of our players, today was the first time they had been exposed to the game of T-ball, baseball, the general concept. And so even over the course of the 4 innings that we played, we saw a lot of progress understanding the dynamics of base running and how to hit that ball.
They're very young, so they'll forget, like sometimes they'll run to third base first, sometimes they'll keep the bat in their hands when they're running around the bases, so just things like that. But over the season, I think things will get better.
I am a lifelong baseball fan and I love to play, and our older daughter wasn't super excited about playing, but this one was excited for me to coach, and I'm just really excited to be out here. And it's going to be a great summer.
Appreciate the opportunity from the Takoma Park Recreation Department and appreciate all the infrastructure put in place to make this a reality for the kids.
The whole point is just to have fun, and when you keep that as the core goal, it makes it pretty easy, actually.
You sign up through our Recreation Department, go ActiveNet, check it out on our website, and you can register that way.